Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Hi, so happy to see you. Today is October 1st, 2024, and this is an energy update. What I'm going to be talking about is who are you and the death of the ego. And we're going to be talking about your inner journey, death of the ego, and designing the space you want to hold. So going to talk about what's been going on, and then also things that you can do to help yourself get through these periods of time. So it's been pretty intense for me. I'll just share a little bit what's been going on with me, because that's where I get the energy update also. Um, and so everything, so talking about inner journey, a lot of inner journey and a lot of the death of the ego, really things coming out that have to do with me personally, about, who am I, and who am I without all of my conditionings, beliefs, labels, um, all of the things that I've created out of fear. And all of those things have been coming up, and then and some things that, like yesterday, and every day I'm waking up different. I don't know, are you guys experiencing that too? Like, because I always work on myself, because I work on myself to help my family, to help my ancestors, to help humanity. So I'm working on myself every day, and so some days are really intense when it's a lot of ancestral stuff or a lot of humanity stuff beyond my own. It gets scary sometimes, so I want to share. Like, it can feel. I've been having anxiety lately, and because of coming to certain things. Who am I as a mother? Who am I? Redefining what family is. I talked about this. This is coming up before, and who am I if I'm took away the label of coach. Like yesterday I woke up and it was like, you're not doing any business today. And normally it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is all my coaching stuff, and Thursday, Friday is my art. And it was just like, no. And it was like there was no passion. Like today I got up and I was like excited. It's just like, yes, we're like, this is the right thing to do. And the other thing I was going to use yesterday, so I'm questioning, should I continue doing my subscription group? Because do I tough it out? Is this a thing over time? I really see the advantage and everything in it, but it doesn't seem to be something that is drawing people. Now, I don't know if that is because something that has to do with my energy, or it's just not the lane for me. And it does take a lot of my time, and it could take a lot more of my time, but I like to do a variety of things, and this is a big part of that. And my one-on-one coaching I love, and I just felt like there needed to be more group stuff, community stuff. And I'm thinking, instead of putting it in that, to create a class. So I'm just sharing, you create classes that can just go out into the world instead of things you have to join. So I'm just sharing with you kind of my process of like what I'm going through, is like really looking, is this working? Even though I'm called to do it, does it, and maybe when I was called to do it, it was a fit, but is it a fit now? Is it, do I just need to be more persistent? Do I need to get somebody to help me market it, etc.? So it's like looking at all these different aspects that come up in my life, whether it has to do with my career, whether it has to do with my family, whether it has to do with friendships, with my husband, with health issues, my diet is starting to shift and change a little bit now. So it's just saying, okay, you did that before, let's start incorporating a couple new things in there to pay attention to. So is this happening for you? So let's get down to inner journey. So the inner journey is like what I said, that things are popping up. You might be the inner journey, and you're not going and looking for these things. These things are showing up in ways of how you feel. So following your feelings, what are behind your feelings? What is coming up? And so if you start to see that, that you are, feeling sad or angry, you're feeling burdened or depression or anxiety, or feeling alone, abandoned, isolated, hopeless, resisting life, denying life. Are you putting your head in the sand and things keep pulling you out, and you're like, no, I don't want to know that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to face that. And so we're taking deep dives into our beliefs. And for those of you that don't know me, I use notes to keep myself on track. So if you see me looking down, I'm reading my notes to keep me on track. And this is, and it all of these things that I'm talking about, the topics, inner journey, death of the ego, designing the space that you want to hold. They all have to do with the one question, who am I? So when we're in the inner journey, it's like, who am I? Who am I now that is not the one that wants to create, is not the one in 5D, is not the elevated frequency, coming from love versus fear. And again, fine tuning, you could be, part and part. Again, I'm fine tuning myself, and those deeper things that have been holding on, or we tend to, we get rid of, we clear some things, we do the work and we clear it, and it's a spiral. And as we spiral up, we release those attachments that we have to our identity, our feelings, our beliefs, our processes, etc. We start to then we go into the higher energies and the higher feelings and perspectives that we can come at the world in a more empowered place. That's what we're doing, and this is actually helping. It's like a workout, it's like, so when your feelings come up, and then that's like going to the gym. All right, here we go. So what's there? What's under those feelings? It's like our feelings will help to go, there's something there. And you might be irritated, or you're pointing fingers at people. They're doing this to me, and I want you to realize there's 3 fingers pointing back to you. It's you doing. We have you doing it to yourself. You're thinking or believing, whether you're conscious or unconscious of it, that something is wrong, or that you are a certain way, you are less than, it's not fair, etc. Different things. And so it's for you, your work. It's when you point a finger and you're making judgments, because whatever you judge, positive or negative, is what shows up in your world. Part of this learning, and part of why I'm talking about designing the space we hold, is that the big thing is that this is your world. You are creating this world. My world, you would not know my world because you're in your world. I would not know your world because you're creating it. And so once we are creating this, we are creating our suffering. We are creating and co-creating with others, but it's not necessarily always what happens to us. It's what you put on the circumstance, what you're believing about that, that can shift your reality to feel a certain, either positive or negative, or have a more conscious understanding of what you went through. And so that is the part of the inner journey. You're looking at, you're experiencing your feelings, you're allowing your body to feel it, and then see what's underneath it. Is there something here I need to learn? Then listen to it. You're not having to re-experience any of the things. You are just like, oh, this is there. And then you on this journey, and then on you let it go. You can release it, and then you can decide. That's part of designing the space that you want to hold, the world that you want to create, the one you want to, not the one you've been programmed to create, not the one you've created out of fear, out of anxiety, out of survival. What's the thriving world that you want to create? Who do you be in that? Who are you in this? So coming more from the truth of who you are, from the love that you are, from having an open heart, which that creating from that versus out of fear, how to create myself and make myself safe, and create in the survival and on the wheel of life, that hamster wheel of life, that so you don't have time to really be you. So it's a whole kind of breaking down the system that you've been accustomed to, that you're currently operating from. And if you've been doing this a while, you're just fine-tuning that system. And if you've been following me or others, that right now, all the energies and stuff, right? Everything is like, okay, let's do this, game on. Like, it's like, leave everything on the field, leave everything at the finish line. It's like, don't think, oh, you have all the time in the world. No, do this now, because we are shifting. And so the less that you have to shift down the road, the better. And also, the more work that you do right now, you are having a positive impact on your world, and you are having a positive impact on humanity. So that's helping to shift that energy there. So you have to realize, don't underestimate the power of your inner work to impact the world. And we can't hold another until we can hold ourselves. So in whatever way you can hold yourself, that's as far as you can hold somebody else. For the healers, the people in here who are here to help others, right? It's like you'll only be able to stand holding people where you currently are. And if you're here to hold a lot of people, or and help people through this transition that we're going to be going through, then you got to do your work, do the heavy lifting, and that's really doing your inner work. And I thank you so much for doing that, and for listening to this, and to figuring it out. And can I ask you guys, would you please like and share this video, because I realize how the system works, and I don't have a marketer doing this for me, and you would really help if you feel like this is valuable. Help me spread the word, so that I can be helping a lot more people. And also throw in there, I do one-on-one coaching, so I can help you do the inner work and find those deeply rooted beliefs and stuff a lot faster than you can do it on your own. So if you want to do any of that, then reach out to me, and we can set up a time to have a conversation. All right, so let's see, I think that's it on the inner journey. So now let's go to the death of the ego. So the death of the ego, what would your world be without the things you're currently attached to? This is what I've been going through. Really looking at things like stripping it away. Like, if I'm not a mom to my kids, right? If I take away, and what is that? What was I thinking about that? Like, that's one, and my life is not dependent on my relationship with my children. If we took that away, who am I? If I'm not a mom, right? And that, like, I'm, hello, Hawk, and I'm not dependent on like my business as being defining me, right? If like like yesterday, right? It's like, oh, if I don't have this, and I let go of the subscription site, right? Then I'm a failure. Then something's wrong with me. If I can't make this happen, like, who am I without that? If I'm not doing that, and here I go again, I feel like sometimes I'm like throwing spaghetti out, even though I'm directed and there's things I'm really excited about, but there's, anyway, we all get in our own way, and I want to do a lot, so I'm figuring out how to do a lot, and I'm really hearing that it's simplify, 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 like all those labels that we have to live by. So so I'm going to help you with what are you attached to? Self-identifications, like mom, like coach, like healer, like dad, like teacher, that, whatever your job description, whatever your financial status is, or whether that's positive or negative. Any labels that people gave you that are like somebody like klutz. Who would you not be a klutz, right? In your the external validations, who are you if you didn't have those external validations? So that's like going back up to the inner work, because you have to figure out, like, if people aren't telling you you're fabulous, or you're solving problems, or you're taking care of people, and you just are you. Who are you just as you, being you, without having to have validation from, like, serving or helping somebody or taking care of them? Who are you without that? That's really important, because a lot of us healers and light workers are nurturers, and a lot of in our dysfunctional families, we were taught how to take care of other people, how to solve other people's problems, and we got kudos from that. And then also, by solving their problems and taking care of them, then we weren't going to be the empathically picking up on all of the stuff that the craziness that the people around us were going through, and all the feelings and depressions and anxiety, etc. That, so if we took care of everybody else, then we felt better, but we were always on the bottom of the list. And you usually did not end up taking care of you. And that's one of the things why I say over and over again, your health, self-care is essential. And like I said, because of your self-care, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, impacts the world and will impact what you are able to handle. And so right now, these are clearing our ego. Our ego is attached, and our ego also has fears attached with all of those. And so certain things have to be a certain way, and our ego can hold us back from making new choices, from being more of a leader, for stepping out, for speaking out, for putting us in fear. And we've created this world out of survival versus out of thriving and really coming from our heart, and creating out of love, and out of the mission, your inner mission, and from a lot of other things. So it's looking at, how is your ego, right, around validation? Where's your ego in your career? What happens if you lost your career? Who are you? And so kind of going through some of this stuff, and things will come up so that will spark. And you might not go through, you don't need to go through all of these. You're just going to go through the things where you need to do the work, and you're not going to go through these all at the same time. But a lot of stuff is popping up right now. And you might be somebody who is not going through, you'd be going through one or two of these, right? Some relationships, all different areas of who are you without your partner? Who are you without your lover? Who are you if you just stand alone? Who are you without your certain set of friends? And are these set of friends from fear, created from fear, or they created out from love and from full choice? And do you, in relationships, are you adding to each other's life? Not, is this a codependent relationship? And so looking to see, is this a codependent relationship? A lot of sensitives and starseeds, because of our nurturing, our caring, our empathic abilities, our psychic abilities, etc., we know how to take care of people really well. And so we attract a lot of, again, I'm sort of using this a label here, but a lot of narcissists, a lot of people who are wanting it, coming from their own fears, and we make them feel really good and stuff, but now we're in this codependent relationship. Who are you without that? And I left divorced my husband, and left that relationship. It was one of the hardest things that I ever did in my life. We were together 24 years, but I knew I was dying if I did not get out of here, and I chose to live and to love, and that this is, I had a mission, and I wasn't going to sacrifice myself for that. I could no longer do that, and I had done everything that I knew to help that relationship grow and to get through it, but it didn't happen. And so yes, that was a huge inner journey and death of an ego that had to take place. And my biggest worry was, I'm going to be a bag lady on the street, and so death of that ego, revisioning, doing my inner journey, the work that was coming up with that, how I was living in survival, how I was living out of fear, and then creating a new way for me to be in the world. And this is what you can do too. So let's go around money, support systems. So if you were, alone, personality attachments, so drama, rebel, savior, healer, warrior, activist, people pleaser, mother, father, hippie, goddess, angel, miser, narcissist, selfish. Looking at also, the ego of, do you have ego in your religion? Your religious beliefs. Do you feel you're superior to other religions? Again, that's your ego. That's not coming from the truth of who you are. What about culture? Thinking that you, again, that your culture is better or less than too. So it does, both of them, both sides, are all sides. It's just taking a look, like, how am I thinking about myself as somebody from China, somebody from Russia, somebody from the United States, from Germany, etc., Indonesia, academics. A lot of people have to have letters after their name. It is their ego needs to have that in order for them to feel good enough or smart enough. And they want the rest of the world to know, for us to know, because they have those letters, that they've done a lot of study. So again, looking at that, and then like, what institutions, like where is your ego? Where do you immediately go? Like, what kind of car do you drive? Is that for ego, or is that for economic? Are you it's like any side, any way that you're looking at, skin color, diet. Are you vegan, carnivore, keto, whatever? Who are you, right? It's like, who are you without all the divisions? If you weren't a Democrat and a Republican or an independent, anything, who are you? If you cared about this planet and connection and everything else, who are you? What's important to you? What are your values? You start to see how much you've been conditioned, and a lot of it from your family, and when you were very young, conditioned to think and believe that that what your family's doing and what they believe about how families should be, and how you should work and what careers you should be in, and that you keep following. And a lot of people, I hear a lot of people who would choose careers that their family, be the dentist, the attorney, the doctor, etc., and they get in there and it's just like the engineer. It's not them. It's not them. They don't want it. They've been climbing this ladder for their family, and it's just like it kills them. They just cannot do it, and they disappoint their family, and then they feel like a schmuck for doing that. And again, so you can get out of that. Like, you don't have to keep beating yourself up. It's just making new choices and coming from a more conscious, making choices from a conscious frequency of what do I want, not what I don't want, or out of fear, or out of feeling alone, or feeling, because anyway, so that is the death of the ego. So look at all of those. Look at your life. Look at, like, why are you tolerating stuff? Usually the tolerating, right, is there's some ego involved in there. It's like the fear of that somehow you have to take care of them, or it's like, you have to know your enemy, so you be friends with your enemies. You're on defense rather than offense, and scoring and having, and fun and enjoying your life versus, suffering. Okay, so designing the space we hold. So that means designing your life, designing what it is that you want. And also, when you can design and create the space that you really want, right, where you're at, your energy's at, your capacity to create in the world, your capacity to be true, and trust that you've got it no matter what, things can be falling around, you can help, you have the capacity to hold the space for others to fall apart, emotionally, physically, mentally, that you can help, but you're helping from, I almost want to say it's neutral, and it's like you care, you love, and you're not getting entangled in everybody else's stuff. You know how to have healthy boundaries. So I'm sharing, like, what it is, like a bigger perception of holding space for yourself, right? It's like your self-care and taking care of yourself is essential. So that's holding space for yourself. So that's eating, your sleeping, your friendships, your environment, your energy, your mindset, your heart space, feeling connected to yourself, feeling connected to Gaia, feeling connected to the cosmos. And again, I'm giving ideal, so you're going to be wherever you are on this. I'm doing the ideal, feeling connected to community, having a good resources and connection and good friendships, and your environment that nurtures you. And it's all right. Listen, it's all right if you're not there yet. It's all right if you're not there yet. It's been 10 years this Halloween that we got our house. But we built this house from scratch, and we lived in a 1960s ranch house for 10 years while we were working on this land. It took 5 years to build, but we were, to get everything together. It's crazy here in Santa Barbara to do the building thing. But So it's like you have to put in the practice, you put in the energy, you keep designing. It took a year to design this house with our architect. You know, it takes time, but also things can go very quickly. So but there's a commitment, there's a vision that you're holding, there's attention, intention. And so one of the things that when you work with me is like we're creating towards, you're living in the moment, you're seeing your life as you want it now. Just like if you have blueprints but there's no house, you have the blueprints of the house, but you can see the house. It's like you have a blueprint of your life and you can see it. It's not fully there yet, but little parts start coming in. And as I've been doing my work over these years, many 20 plus years, maybe 25 now, that it is, you know, that I remember what I worked with. John Asseroff from The Secret was one of my coaches in the beginning years, and I remember him saying about, you know, what I'm telling you now. And I used to be like, my life was not as I wanted it, and he just was like, you've just got to be conscious of like, what are you thinking? What are you doing now? What are the choices you're making with the stuff that's coming up? And I remember that I would tell myself, Marilyn, the old Marilyn, go over here. The new Marilyn, this is what she wants. And nothing's changing. And I just kept doing that every day. It was like, no, this is happening. And then one day I woke up and it was like it was like whatever happened. And I've done that. It's a lot faster now than when I was just beginning that. But it's just, yes, then you have to get the old mindset, the old energy, the old vision, and start to really believe that you can change your world and that you do have a say. That's an important thing. You have a say, and it's your responsibility to create your world. Nobody else can create it for you. Listen to what I just said. Nobody else is you. Nobody else knows what you need, what you're here for. Nobody else can talk to your higher self, to your guides, to your angels, to your team and spirit. Nobody else can create what is going to benefit you. What you're here. Nobody knows why you're here. Only you and your path and your journey on this, in this world, which is an incredible one, and at this time in all of this craziness. But you're coming to learn that you're multidimensional. You're remembering. It's all in you already. So there isn't anything to go get out here. It's like to release all the visions, all the sounds, all the programming, propaganda, different things that have come into your life, that it's like you're a diamond and there's a bunch of mud all over you, caked on. And what we're doing is like you're getting the vibration just by listening to me. You're getting a frequency that is like, oh, it starts to kind of light, the light of the diamond starts to kind of rattle the mud out. So the mud starts chipping away, starts falling off, and as you start to remember and make a new choice, there's a chunk that goes falling off, and all of a sudden you realize, oh my God, look at the light that I am, and I feel so open and heartfelt, and a big part of this is all through your heart. So it's learning to forgive yourself, right? And holding, because then you can forgive others in a different way. You start to see you're a fractal of God. Everybody's a fractal of God, and we're all connected. We all come from the same intelligence that's around us, right? We start to see all these synchronicities and connections and things, and we start to see the truth of who we are, which is really an empowered, multidimensional, unconditionally loving fractal of God that's here to experience life. It's here to express in whatever way you want to express that's important to you. And those change as we age, as we accomplish things. Then there's a new thing. I finished with the house. Now I'm going back into my artwork, and going to be creating that and selling my paintings and stuff, which I've never wanted to do before. But I'm in a whole nother space where now this energy inside me is coming out in my paintings, which I've been waiting for. This has been something that I have been creating since I was a little girl. And it was like the way I was being trained, and I didn't know things yet. And all these things have come together. And I'm actually taking a year-long art program that's teaching me, because I was like, there's another way. I want to create artwork that's activated. So when people see the artwork, their DNA, their hearts get open. There's something that resonates with them, that lights them up, that helps them to remember who they are. And for me, that was going more into abstract energy work, but I didn't know how to create some of the things that I wanted to create, or what I'm thinking of. I didn't know how do I do that on a canvas. And then again, when you're ready, right? The house, moved into the house fairly, 95% together, and then this class came along, and I'm like, yes. And it takes a lot of my time, and it's a lot of learning, and I'm not doing my own stuff yet. But it's an answer to something that I've been waiting for. I had other things to create. I had my family to create. I had my business my coaching, and to create that part of it. This house to create, and now. And me to work on, and now I have the artwork is coming along with and actually the artwork, I think, and the coaching will eventually come together, so I can help others do this, and where you can create really healing or activating art. So timing is a big thing, and trusting and following synchronicities, trusting your intuition. So that is a lot of what designing the space, being able to hold the space for you, so then you can hold much stronger space for others, creating new beliefs, flow. Who do you be? New choices, vision, energy. What do you really value? What do you stand for? I've really come into more too. It's like I feel stronger about making statements and sharing things about what I really believe and how I see the world, and wanting it to be healthy and peaceful and unified, and people having self-choice over health and religions, etc. But we and being sovereign and freedoms, and I'm fighting for those. I feel like that's part of my job too, is speak up, even though some of the things I'm speaking up might not be popular with those people around me that are in my life. And most of the time, again, I grew up as a black sheep. I'm still a black sheep. No, I'm taking that out. I am an empowered woman. I'm an empowered being who cares and is connected to herself, and connected to Gaia, and connected to community, and connected to the cosmos, and who cares and can hold the space for humanity and our world to have a better life, and to treat each other with respect, and value each other, and honor each other, and celebrate each other, and celebrate each other's expressions. So again, who are you? And these are choices that we're moving into, from expressing and creating the unconditional love that you are, the creative being that you are, the spark of God that you are, the empowered self that you are becoming. And I will be becoming that until the day I die. So I'm never going to hit like, woo, I got it, right? It's always exploring, because also I'm curious. I want to see, what can I create? What can I do? And I would love that for you, to be curious. Who are you? And to do this work. And if you need any support, feel free to reach out. And again, please share this and like it and any of my other videos. I really appreciate that. And until we meet again, love, live, and matter. Take care. Bye.